to another video. You guys, we're out here doing all the things. All righty. So we are live. Okay. I'm trying to find my video link so I can share it. Because, of course, I still don't have my computer yet. Ooh, all the things, right? Indeed. So thank you so much for joining me. Again, my name is Pastor Shakima. I am not even seeing this video. Okay. Why am I not? Oh, sorry. I'm on the wrong thing. I have a women's ministry called First Love Ministries with Shakima Wilson that the Lord allows me to facilitate. I have been in ministry since 2014, called by the Lord in 2012. It took me a minute. It took me a skinny minute before I was able to really accept the calling of the Lord on my life. It's not that I didn't want to accept it. I just did not understand how God could use somebody like me. Now, I know most people would say, well, Shakima, what's wrong with you? It's really nothing wrong with me. I just thought that I was from the wrong side of the tracks for God to be able to use me, right? Excuse me, y'all. I'm trying to share. Trying to share this link. I'm having to go through too many changes right now to get to be able to share multiple places because I'm still waiting for my computer situation to happen, which it hasn't happened yet, and I have so many stories about that. So anywho, prayerfully, if somebody wants to join, they will join me. I hope that they do. So we are back to the series. Now, how did I come about doing the Love Dare? So my specific calling, I probably shared this a little bit last night, is to marriage. I know that there is a specific calling that God has placed on my life to help people with their marriage, specifically the woman, from the woman's point of view. I'm not a man. I don't know what a man goes through. I can empathize, I can sympathize, but I can never feel. I can never say, I know what you're going through, brother. I'm never going to know what he's going through. So the Lord gave me the female side. And so I'm thankful that God has allowed me to be able to do that. So I have three specific goals. My goal one is to help women be better women, right? Sometimes we don't even know how to be good to ourselves. How can we be good to somebody else? Secondly, to help you become a better wife, right? I'm by myself, individual. God has called me to couple. So now I need to teach you how to be a better wife. And the third thing is God wants you to be a better mother, right? So a better woman, a better wife, and a better mother. That's the order it should happen. That's not always the order it should happen. Hey now, thanks for joining me from Oklahoma. Hey Ladybug, good to see y'all. I'm so glad you're here. Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining me. I'm so glad that you're here. So with that being said, I stumbled upon, I don't know if it's stumbled really. I love the Kendrick brothers and they had come out with a movie called Fireproof. Loved the movie. Several years later, they came out with the book. I think I grabbed the book because I was going through some marriage issues at the time. And then I wanted to take, every resource I can get to help the call that God has placed on my life. I try to take those resources. And so I began to go through this book myself. I was not with my husband at the time. We were in the middle of a separation. We might have even been divorced at that time. Oh, very good. I'm so glad. And so I was not necessarily taking the dare with anybody, but I wanted to take myself through it, right? I need to understand how it works before I can teach anybody else how it works. Now there is the marriage evaluation. If you did not take the marriage evaluation, I encourage you strongly to go back and take the marriage evaluation and answer honestly, because you need to know where you are. Out of that 1,000 points, where do you score? There was a particular individual I was with that particular individual several weeks ago. And I said, would you be so kind as to take this for me? And they didn't want to do it. I said, but I'm getting ready to start teaching a series. And I think it would just be helpful to kind of see where you are. They were having some issues and talking about some things with their spouse. And I'm not here to I'm not here to let you just badmouth your spouse. That's not my job, right? I don't want to hear any of that stuff. What I do want to do is help us get to some bottom lines, help us get to some standards, help us get to base level, and then build up from there, right? So don't come to me with your problems about your spouse. I'm going to ask you, what are your problems with yourself? Because again, remember, I just deal with it from the female angle. You can tell me my husband does this and he does this and he does this. Well, I don't know how to work that out for you because I'm not a man. I can't, I'm not going to sit around and commiserate. How can we fix the problem? What can we do? So I began to just delve in, ingest all of this information. And as I began to do it a second time, I was like, you know what? I think I might need to share this with people. So that third time through, I was like, let me just put it out there. And I think I've done this now 2 or 3 times. And I do it right at the beginning of the year. Let's start fresh, right? We making these New Year's resolutions. Let's resolve to be better wives. Let's resolve to be better spouses. And if you're a man watching, let's resolve to be a better husband. Because again, it's not always the wife. It's not always the husband. Sometimes we just didn't come together properly. And because we didn't come together properly on the right situational circumstances, there was already trauma, drama, and stress when we got together, right? We thought getting together was going to make it better because we wanted to just do what we wanted to do. It is better to marry than to burn, but that doesn't make it all better. So we've got to figure out how to get together so that there is peace, there is calm. So before we start tonight, which is day number 2, Love is Kind, give me some feedback in the comments, in the chat. How did day 1 go? Did anybody not make it in day 1? Remember, let me go back and refresh your dare for today. So the dare for today was, the first part of this dare is simple. Although love is communicated in a number of ways, our words often reflect the condition of our heart. Remember, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speak. What is in here is coming out. I do not care. For the next day, resolve to demonstrate patience and say nothing negative to your spouse at all. How did it go? This is what I'm interested in, because we have to begin to notice patterns. You notice patterns in your spouse. They always do this. They always do this. And every time payday comes, you notice patterns. But do we notice patterns in ourselves? Do we notice when we're starting to get a little edgy? Do we notice that we're saying things that are negative? Because this could be our regular speak, right? This is how I talk all the time. This just me. Well, maybe just you is not as gentle and as patient as you should be. So now, instead of looking at everything he does wrong or she does wrong, I need to be inwardly thinking, what is Shakima doing wrong? Because here's what I learned in my marriage and the failure of my marriage. For a long time, I couldn't say that I failed at marriage, but I know that's exactly what I did. How do you know, Shakima? Because I'm not married right now and he married somebody else. I failed. But for the longest time, I thought he was the cause of everything. He was the cause of a good bit of it, but so was I. I was broken. I was traumatized. I had all the things, triggered easily when we got together. Same for him, triggered easily. He can blow up at a moment's notice, and he's not that type of person. You'd look at him and never think that he could lose it. He could lose it in 0.4 seconds, and you like, oh my God, what's going on, right? But I had to learn it was not all my problem. And it wasn't all his problem. There were moments when I was dead wrong. And there were moments when he was dead wrong. And for me, I needed to hone in and focus on how to fix my wrongness to make it better. So a lot of times when you speak, it's just whatever comes out, comes out. We have no filter. Well, I can say what I want to say. Freedom of speech has given everybody carte blanche to just say anything. Well, here's the thing. Sometimes we don't need to say everything. Sometimes you need to hold it in. It's okay. Everything that you're thinking does not have to be said, right? Very good. I'm glad. So far, so good, right? And we take it step by step, day by day, dare by dare. Everybody's not going to get it right every time. Today, prime example, Shakima didn't get it right. Well, I got some of it right, but Let me just say, I was tempted to go there. All right. So day one was love is patient. We move into day two, love is kind. Now remember, in our list of categories, this is an affection day. This is attached to how I feel, how I want to connect with my spouse. It's an affection day. Your source verses for this day, in case you didn't go back and do your marriage evaluation, all of this information comes out in the marriage evaluation. What I'm telling you now is not because I just know it or it's in my book. I did the marriage evaluation. See, here's the thing. I'm rabbit trailing, but I'm coming back, y'all. I promise. A lot of times you want the fixed marriage without doing what it takes to fix the marriage. Does that make sense? I hope it does. If it doesn't, just pray on it a little while and ask the Lord to reveal to you, right? I want the fixed marriage, but I don't want to change my way of speaking. I don't want to change the people I hang around who aren't married and who tell me my husband ain't no good. I don't want to stop gossiping about my husband to my mother, because me and my mother talk about everybody, and I should be able to talk about my husband to my mother anyway, because that's my mother. Right? We want the good marriage, but we don't want to do what it takes to get the good marriage. And sometimes most of the time, all the time, pretty much, if you don't put in the work, if I don't go to the gym every day, what reasonable expectation do I have that my body will be healthy? I can think it all I want as I'm walking around 800 pounds. But if I go to the gym and train my body, if I make different choices for food, then the hard work of the workouts and the eating should lead to a thinner, smaller, healthier me, right? It's hard. Y'all, I was noticing on my camera, because I go back and check to make sure all is well around my house, but I walk leaned over. So I walk kind of slumped over, not like I'm an old woman having osteoporosis, but I walk leaned over, and I'm like, why is that like that? And here's the truth. The truth is because I'm working out so hard, I'm straining my back. And until my back acclimates to the workouts, because I've been off for 2 weeks, until my back acclimates back to the working out 5 days a week, I'm going to walk slumped over. That is just a byproduct of me being back in the gym, exercising my muscles. So when you're kind and you're patient with your spouse, you might be walking kind of feeling like you bent over a little bit because you're not used to it. But the more you do it, the more I work out and train my body and strengthen my back muscles, because I'm lifting heavy. Don't give me this cardio foolishness. I don't want none of that. Give me weights. But the more my body acclimates, the straighter I'll stand up. Right now, I'm bent over. I'm promising y'all. I'm like Shakima, and I have to force myself. Stand up tall because I'm bent over. But it's because I haven't exercised in a bit, and now my body is screaming. But I understand that if I continue to use good discipline, going to the gym 5 days a week and doing my best in the kitchen to eat the right healthy things for my body, eventually this back pain will subside. So today is, or tomorrow, day two, tomorrow, love is kind. It's an affection day. Kindness is the quality of being friendly, generous, or considerate. If you were to ask your spouse, I don't have a spouse. If you were to ask your spouse, but Lord, in Jesus' name, if you were to ask your spouse, how friendly are you? What would they say? These are the things you need to think about, because I can think you're friendly. You can be friendly with me. Good morning, Shakima. How are you? Yes, I know how to be friendly at work. I don't have to take those people home. I don't have to wash their dirty drawers. I don't have to try to clean up after them when they left stuff all over the house, but I do have to go home with my spouse. Yes, my God. I have to go home with my spouse. And then I don't want to be kind, and I don't want to be friendly, and I don't want to be generous, and I don't want to be considerate. He didn't consider me when he left these dishes up in here. He didn't consider me when he took out all this food and he didn't eat the food I cooked. No, he didn't do none of that. Right? So I'm different at work than I am at home. And sometimes you hit your lid. I remember when my oldest son, he dealt with some specific issues, and we needed him to just make it through the school day. So I said to him, I need you to make it through the school day. And as soon as you come home, if you need to lose it, lose it. It's fine. Some of us can only make it through the workday, and we come home, we lose it, and you lose it on everybody. But here's the thing. You don't get a lose it card every day. You don't get a lose it card every day, all the hours that everybody is awake. You might need a good hour. Some people just need to de-stress. They need to calm down. They need to just have a few minutes. I get it. But I don't get to have that attitude for the 6 hours that we're up at home. I ain't even seen you much today. You worked, I worked. So now I get home, I'm dealing with the kids, we cooking dinner, we getting the kids to put to bed, and before you know it, it's time for y'all to go to bed, and you have not exchanged a decent word to each other. You haven't extended yourself. You haven't said, hey, I got you this time, or whatever the case may be. We just feeling how we feel. But you go back to work tomorrow, and remember your work husband is there, and you're like, oh, hey, Darren, how you doing? Yes, okay, yeah, my work husband. But remember, I told you that man don't go home with you. When your bills come due, he don't put no signatures on them checks. When your body is hurting, he ain't rubbing you down in Bengay and anointment oil. He ain't doing none of that. He just your husband at work. So it's really a misconception about what a husband is. Because a husband, when you covenant with that person, you said in good and bad and rich and poor and sickness and health and all the things, and the kids and the in-laws and vacations you don't want to take, like throw all that in there because it's all in there. So be very careful with those other side relationships because they are not beneficial for you. I don't have personal experience there because I've never had a work husband and I've never been a work wife. I've been a friend, and I'm very careful and cautious about my mixed relationships because I understand that it takes one wrong thought, one wrong wink, one wrong something for it to be misconstrued, and the next thing you know, you caught up in a trick bag. And then I got to go home and explain to my husband what happened. When this man is constantly texting me and calling me, and he think it's a thing, and I just kind of forgot myself for a second, or whatever the case might be. So be very careful with those extracurricular relationships. I'm being very open and honest with you when I say if you have a work spouse, you are probably committing adultery. Because not every act of adultery is physical. There are plenty of relationships that have been destroyed from this was going on in my head, right? What do we call it? A mental affair? It's not called a mental affair. It's called something else. I can't remember. But it's a emotional affair. We had an emotional affair. My emotions got involved. I was thinking what they would do differently, and I was fantasizing about what they would do differently. So I'm just telling you, moving on. Kindness is love in action. If patience is how love reacts in order to minimize negative circumstances, kindness is how love acts in order to maximize positive circumstances. Now, Ephesians 4:32 says, be kind to one another, tenderhearted, forgiving each other, just as God in Christ has also forgiven you. Now, thank you, emotional affair. We are sometimes the hardest on our spouse. I'm not forgiving you. I'm holding this thing over your head. I'm going to bring this thing back up. True forgiveness doesn't bring it back up. If you forgive, you've forgiven. And that is what it is. Right? It says, be kind to one another, tender-hearted. If you're hard of hearts, you can't be kind. There's nothing kind about a person that's hard-hearted. Just think about Ebenezer Scrooge and the Grinch, right? He went down there to steal Christmas. He wasn't trying to care about the jubilation. He didn't want to have none of that. He didn't want to have Cindy Lou Who with her little Who dinner. He went down there to take it all. But when he went down there and someone showed him kindness, little girl from nowhere, she doesn't even know he's a bad man. She just was like, hey, do you want my toys? You can have all the toys. No problem. We don't need any toys. You take them. She's just giving him all of the things. And what happens in that little animated show? His heart begins to grow. And that little thing that he placed over his heart begins to burst. And it grows and grows and grows. That's kindness. It's what kindness will do. If your spouse is hard of hearts, if they don't ever reach out towards you. Can I promise you that if you begin to turn things around and show them kindness, which is friendliness, generosity, and consideration, their heart will begin to grow. Can I promise you that it's going to grow towards you quickly? No, because I don't know what all else they're dealing with. But I can promise you that you will be changed. We want to think that the Grinch was the only person changed in the Grinch movie. It's not true. So was Cindy Lou Who, right? And so was Martha May, Huvier, and all the other people. They were all changed. They were looking at him one way, and then by the time he started changing, they were like, oh, well, maybe he's not so bad. But it started with them. She was willing to let him have it all. You just take it because maybe you need, oh, you dropped this, you forgot one. And when he's racing up, his mind is working. He's like, wait a minute, I came down to steal everything. And this little girl she didn't even care. She told me to go ahead and take it and gave me all the stuff. Think about what your spouse would think if that was you. I've treated her this type of way, and I've said this, and I've called her this name, and I didn't give her the money, and I didn't help with the kids, and I didn't do the laundry, and blah, blah, blah. And you still keep serving. You still keep being kind. You still keep doing things to honor and esteem them. At some point, they're not going to keep doing what they're doing to you. Now, let me say this, and I have to be careful. I'm not saying they're going to stay with you, because some people will feel so guilty about the way they've treated you that they will leave. They don't know how to face you because she doing all of this towards me. Have you ever seen The War Room, the movie The War Room? This is another Kendrick Brothers movie with Priscilla Shire and was it TK Sterling? Was it TK? I remember his last name. Anyway, the black man. And he is griping and complaining at his wife, and they going at it. She meets Miss Clara. Miss Clara says, how much time do you spend complaining about your husband? Because that's all you're doing. Do you want to do something about it? And she starts teaching her how to pray for her marriage. So she changes, and her daughter starts to change. Well, the husband gets fired from his job. One day he goes into her closet and he's looking at all these prayers. He don't see no clothes. She done got rid of the clothes. Honey, when people take their clothes out their closet and they start praying for you, I would be concerned. But he goes into the closet and he's looking at all these prayers that she's posted. This is when prayer rooms or war rooms were really popular, from that movie called The War Room. And he was looking at all these things, and he says, Danielle, when did mama change her closet? She said, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. Look, she been praying for this man. Treating him right, fixing him dinner, and he's just walking around thunder. He's thunder and lightning. And she's like, well, do you want to eat? How can I help you? What do you want me to do? I did your laundry. She's just doing all the things. She's totally released her anger. She's totally released her right to be right. She's totally released the right to even be treated fairly. And she's choosing to serve this man. He comes to himself. He finally asks her, can we sit down and talk? And he says, I'm not a good person. I almost cheated on you, but you already know this. He said, and then I go to your closet, and the way you praying for me, after I've done all this to you, you praying for me like that. Imagine what it would be like in your marriage if all the hell that you were facing from your partner, because truly, that's the person you with more times than anybody else. And everything they're given, they're going to give it to you. And you've decided, listen, I'm not taking none of this personal. I'm forgiving quickly. I'm going to be courteous. I'm going to be kind. I'm going to do all of the things. And eventually they come to you and say, how is it possible that I've treated you no less than a dog and you still here for me? That's going to place something on them. Now, we don't do it so that they feel bad. We do it because God first did it towards us. If we didn't understand, he goes in and talks about Luke 10, the Good Samaritan. Jesus bandaged us up. He did. When nobody else wanted us, he wanted us. He took us to the end. He told the innkeeper, listen, I'm paying for whatever it is that they need. I got to go. I got to do some other stuff. And on my way back, I'm coming on over here. I'm going to check. And if they ran up any bills, I'm paying it. Jesus paid the bills. We the Samaritan, honey. We just broke up. We just all bloody and everything. And we laid out and he done bandaged us up and put us in the 5-star hotel. Says order all the room service you want. For what? How do we repay? That's the question you ask yourself. Okay. I've talked a long time. All right, moving on. So then he talks about Proverbs 3:3-4. Do not let kindness and truth leave you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablets of your heart, so that you will find favor and good repute in the sight of God and man. Here's what he says on page 6. Kind people simply find favor wherever they go. You will not go anywhere and treat people kindly where they will not roll out the red carpet for you, especially in today's age, because people are so mean. So I had a situation with my laptop today. I had to go back to Walmart to try to get it straightened out. So I'm speaking to one lady and I'm being, we're going back over what happened yesterday when I was doing the transaction. And I was like, yes, ma'am. But this is what they were telling me. And I'm just having a kind conversation with this lady. And we can't figure it out. I'm on the phone with Walmart. Somebody else is on the phone with Walmart. And we can't figure it out. And all of a sudden, here comes Brenda. Brenda Ann inserts herself into our conversation. And she knows everything. She dismisses me. I am not important. She is, well, this is not how it goes. And it's supposed to do this and it's supposed to do that. And I'm just saying, well, yes, ma'am. But if you look right here, I'm just trying to be as kind as I can. Yes, ma'am. If you look right here, but it says this. And so this is, well, that's not our problem. They're a third party vendor. I said, yes, but it's Walmart.com. Is it Walmart? Because I'm at Walmart. Yeah, but it's not how it goes. And that's not how I do it. And by the time she kept talking to me and dismissing me, I was over here. So I don't know how kind I was. I'm just being real honest with you. But I was trying my best. She didn't get old Shakima. She got the new and improved, slightly irritated Shakima. She didn't get me over here. But I'm telling you, when people dismiss you and they don't take your feelings into account and they don't ask for your input and all these other things in family situations, you be feeling that type of way. And I refuse to allow you to treat me like this, especially in public. Or do we say, you know what? I'm not fighting with you. I'm going to do what I need to do. I'm going to do what's best for this family. And I'm going to treat you kindly. No matter how you treat me, I'm going to treat you kindly. Okay. He goes back and he talks about the 4 basic core ingredients of kindness. So 4 things. Yolanda, if you can write these down, it would be very helpful. The first thing is initiative. Kindness, and under kindness is initiative. You go first. You forgive first. You love first. You speak first. You serve first. You. But why does it always have to be me? I don't want to do it first. They could do it first sometimes. You go first. Kindness takes initiative. It does not wait for somebody else to move. You move. If you see something that needs to be done, do it. If you see dinner needs to be cooked, cook it. If you see dishes need to be washed, wash them. Well, they could help too. They could, but kindness, which is one of the pillars of love. You have patience and kindness, 2 pillars of love. Kindness goes first. I'm not waiting for you to make me a bubble bath. I'm going to make you a bubble bath. I'm not waiting for you to bring me a warm towel out the dryer to wipe your body off. I'm going to bring it to you. And because I love you, I'm going to wipe your body down. And then I'm going to lotion you down. How about that? Oh, I'm not. You don't know what he said to me. I don't. But I do know I go to bed by myself every night and you don't. You want to switch? Because it ain't no better on the other side. And I'll have men in and out of here. Ain't nobody in and out of here. I can't roll over and have a conversation. You get that. I can't roll over and have no needs met. You get that. 2 a.m., 7 a.m., 3 p.m. Meet me at home for lunch. Whatever the case is. I don't get that. So do you really want my situation, or do you want your situation? That's the question I'm trying to ask. My situation or yours? I know it's rough. I know it's tough. I know it seems like it's not fair, and it's really not. But is love really fair? It doesn't sit waiting to be prompted or coerced before it gets off the couch. It just does first. The second one, under kindness. So initiative is one. The second one is gentleness. Gentleness means I watch how I say something. I may have to say hard things. We may have to have a courageous conversation, but I'm not going to cuss you while I say it. I remember a time when my ex-husband and I, we were not getting along, and he would call me and he would cuss up one and down the other. And I finally got to a point in my right mind, and I said, if you say another cuss word, the next tone you will hear is a dial tone. I'm hanging up the phone. I'm not going to allow you to cuss me. I'll listen to what you have to say. I might not even like it, but I am going to give you that courtesy. Understand, right? I'm going to give you the courtesy, right, to not talk to me crazy. Please, right? Gentleness says I may have to tell you something hard, but I'm going to tell you this in love, right? It's nothing. Sometimes you have to hear hard things, but it's the tone. It's how the person says it. If you coming over here talking like that one lady was talking to me crazy, I'm not about to receive what you're saying. I want a manager. I am a manager. Somebody else over you, because you are not talking to me right. You are talking to me like I am beneath you, and it is because of people like me that you have a job, ma'am. If Walmart doesn't have patronism, then you don't have a job. And so the manager came over. We did not get it resolved as of yet. I'm still going to end up paying. Still. And I still don't have a laptop. And I'm still out $632 because I paid for 2 of them now. And I still got to wait 12 days to see if they're going to give me my money back for one of them. But the second lady, her tone was different. She didn't dismiss me. She heard what I said. She listened to what I was saying. And I left the store. I didn't feel like it was resolved, but I didn't feel like I needed to go back tomorrow and read Brenda the Riot Act. How we say a thing is important. The third thing under kindness is helpfulness. Being kind means meet the needs in the moment. What needs to happen now? All of us have 50 things we need to do. 50 things. I need to cook dinner. I need to wash the clothes. I need to get the kids to bed. I need to do diapers. I need to do laundry. But what needs to be done right now? Let's prioritize. Hey, you take care of the kids' baths. I'll work on making lunches for tomorrow. We're a team. We get to do this thing together. I see you worked a double shift. Hey, I got dinner tonight. You go get you a good shower and sit down and rest your nerves. You work from 7 a.m. this morning to 8 p.m. this night. I got it. But no, he has to take care of the kids just like I take care of the kids because we are fair. We are equal. Well, not really. He worked twice what you worked today. You didn't even work today. It was a school. It was a work day, and you're a teacher. You didn't even go in. Right? So I'm going to find ways to be helpful to my spouse. What can I take off of your plate that's going to make it easier for you? I hear men talk about this all the time. And women, if you have this, please, thank your spouse because I don't have this. But they say, even if I'm mad at my woman, I'm going to make sure she got gas in her car. I'm over here on a wing and a prayer, hoping that we don't have no traffic because I am at less than quarter of a tank. I'm between quarter of a tank and E, trying to get to the trying to get to the thing. But your spouse is considering you and filling up your gas tank. Do you want I can trade. You let me know if you want to trade. That's all I'm saying. Because if trading is what you want, then we can trade. I don't think I like this. I do not think that I would rather, this me, I would rather find a way to be helpful than to be by myself. I know that doesn't seem like something you want to. I get it. I get it. I don't want to help him. Then why you marry him? Why you marry her? Did we not get together because we wanted to serve one another? Or what was the real reason? Here's the thing. If you're questioning your marriage, how about you I'm questioning my marriage. Go back and think about why you got married. What was the driving factor? What was the driving force that caused you to go to the altar, go to the courthouse, wherever you went, on the beach, wherever you went, destination, and say, I agree to do this, 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 and this with you forever? Why? Marriage is not always easy. It's not always hard either. It doesn't have to be if two people are coming together and selflessly serving each other. But the problem, we talked about this yesterday, I want you to serve me. And you want them to serve you. But we never think about, or very rarely do we think about serving the other. I want to outserve my husband. I want to outserve him. He does a thing. Oh, I got you next time, buddy. Ooh, wait your turn. Woo, let me tell you something, okay? Okay. Oh, you up the ante this time, buddy. I see you. We're trying to outserve each other. Now we're trying to be as helpful as we can. I don't know what to do to help them. How about this? Is there anything that I could do to take something off your plate today? Ask. You don't know? Ask a question. If you don't know what to do, ask. It's just as simple as that. All right, I'm going to move on. It says, kindness graces a wife with the ability to serve her husband without worrying about her rights. Kindness makes a husband curious to discover what his wife needs, then motivates him to be the one who steps up and ensures those needs are met. I have a situation, but I really can't share it. Okay. Oh Lord. Imagine having a need, right? And Yolanda, you'll know what I'm talking about. So imagine having a need that you didn't get fulfilled, right? It was never fulfilled in your younger life, in your teenage life. As you grew up and you were dating, it never got filled. Then you got married. But you told your spouse what you needed. And every time you turn around, what you needed shows up. Unprompted, unprovoked, it shows up, right? I have a love for shoes. I love shoes. I love shoes because I was traumatized in my childhood where my mother would take the money and get high versus buying me shoes. So I would walk around with my toes curled up because every time we went to a shoe store, I didn't care if it fit or didn't fit. Yeah, it feels great. Because I knew if I left that store without the shoes, there would be no shoes. Now imagine the Lord sending me a man that buys me shoes without me asking. Not just one pair of shoes. Shoes all the time. That's what we talking about. I don't have to ask. It's unprompted. I don't even have to suggest. I got more shoes that I bought my own self in these closets. I got a whole shoe closet because I needed to buy shoes. But imagine the Lord sending me a man that wants to build me a new closet because I ain't got no more room for the shoes that he gonna buy me. Imagine that. Okay? The fourth thing is willingness. Are you willing to serve your spouse? Kindness inspires you to be agreeable. Are you agreeable or are you not? The Bible says it's better to live on a rooftop than in a house with a nagging wife. Are you a nag? I wish you would get this off the floor. I wish you would do this. I wish you would do that. And Susie husband does it. And this and this and this and rent and rent. And every time you turn around, he got to go to the store. He got to go get some gas. He going to hang out with the family. He don't want to be with you. Because all you do is rant, 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 rant. He like, Lord, I can't do nothing right for this woman. Willingness agrees. Love agrees to be agreeable. It doesn't mean that you don't have, again, those crazy conversations. It doesn't mean that you let everything slide. It doesn't mean that you're a doormat either. You understand? It just means that I'm not going to always have to argue. Does every conversation have to be an argument? Really? I grew up in a household where every conversation was an argument. And when my ex-husband didn't argue with me, I thought something was wrong with him. And he looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, what do you mean we argue? You're going to argue today. See, I don't have any need for that right now. Why would I even need to argue with you? About what? For what? For why? For why? What is that going to do for us, right? Instead of being obstinate, reluctant, or stubborn, you are cooperative and you're flexible. Okay, that didn't work out. No problem. Well, when can we reschedule? He had to work late. Y'all had a date. It was just going out to eat. Y'all didn't spend any money. It's not like you bought concert tickets and couldn't get your money back. He had to work late. Hey, babe, listen, I'm running a little late. I know we're supposed to go out to dinner, but can we get a rain check? Well, you told me last week you was gonna take me out. Okay, babe, I understand. I'm going to look at the schedule and see. I'm going to get another date back to you to see if it works with your work schedule. That's being agreeable. People like that, I want to be with you. I know that I missed it. I missed it this time. I know that I didn't fulfill what I said I was going to fulfill. But you gave me grace. You extended mercy. You understood I had to work because these bills got to get paid. I don't always do overtime. But I had to this one time, and that's going to help us in our bottom line. And so, listen, can you help? Hey, I'm flexible. I got it. It's all right. We don't have to do it this week. We can do it next week. Hey, it doesn't even have to be this month. What about, 3 weeks from now? What about a 3-day weekend? I got another 3-day weekend coming up in a few months from work. Let's plan it then. That's just being agreeable. We're not going to complain, but we're going to look for creative ways to accommodate our spouses. We have to look for creative ways. It is just what it is. And in 2025, there's too many creative things out here to do. I was watching a TikTok, and the guy, him and his wife had some kids, right? So it wasn't like they could just go out. They had some younger kids. So he said, listen, me and my wife, we have to prioritize each other. So we have stay in the house dates. After we get the kids to bed, we have movie night. And the man, he vacuuming up the rug. The wife was putting the kids to bed, according to what the scene looked like. The wife was putting the kids to bed. He was vacuuming up the rug. The next thing you know, he done pulled out a tent like they camping. Child, he done pulled out a whole tent. Blew up a mattress. Blew up the blow-up mattress. Put it inside the tent. Then he got the snacks. He got moving popcorn. They got a little popcorn machine. They popping stuff. He got snacks from the $1.25, 50, 75 tree. He got drinks. He got all the things. And the next thing I see is him and the wife jump in the tent, laying on the bed with all the snacks. We can't go out right now. We got little kids. Ain't nobody to keep them. So we have to find creative ways to connect. You ain't took me out in 3 years. Well, I mean, y'all have a kid every year. You can't go. But we can find creative ways to spend time with each other. I'm doing one job, you do something else. Let's do it together. We don't always have to pull apart. We need to pull together. My grandmother used to say, if I eat dirt, you eat dirt. That just meant we together. We together. Whatever I'm doing, you doing. We all right. Okay? All right, very good. We talked about the Good Samaritan. I'm going to move on because I need to give you your dare. Now, he did say this in the story of the Good Samaritan where the Samaritan was helping the Jew, and the Samaritans and Jews didn't like each other. They were sworn enemies. He says, if enemies can do what the Good Samaritan did for the Jewish person, how about intimate? Sometimes we treat our spouse worse than any other person ever. We'll treat a perfect stranger better than we treat our spouse. Come, I'm telling you this. I want you to lean in and hear me when I tell you this. There are women like me. I don't want your man. I'm praying for my man. But in the meantime, I'm sitting over here with my kids by myself. And my ex-husband is remarried. Been remarried almost the whole time I've been single. 16 years by myself. Sometimes that spouse is not easily replaced. Who you gonna find that want to come over there with your 5 kids? Might want to try to work it out with the man you got them with. Well, Shakima, you sound a little bitter. I'm telling you from experience. Your marriage should be worth working. You can't be 150 pounds and never go to the gym and eat everything. That's not a thing. But if you go to the gym 5 days a week, 4 or 5 days a week, you eat healthy, you stick to your macros, eventually you're probably going to end up at 150 pounds. Talking to myself. These 35 pounds I need to lose over here. Okay? All right. If enemies can do it, how about intimates? This is the person who at certain hours of the day, night, is in your most intimate spaces. And we treat them like trash. Why is that a thing? When did we, how? How? Why? Talk to me. And tell me how. That should not happen ever. All right? Okay. This was really good on page 8. It says, even though the years can take the edge off of your desire, your enjoyment in marriage is still linked to your daily level of kindness expressed. It fuels mutual delight. When I'm serving you and he's serving me, we should be mutually delighted in one another. My biggest goal in life is to outserve my husband. I want to outserve my husband every single day. I don't care what he doing. I'm about to do something else. We wild and we crazy. We ain't got to spend a lot of money. We ain't got to do a whole lot of stuff, but I'm going to expend some effort. I'm going to come up with a creative way to outdo you. And then he going to try to outdo me the next day. Do you not see the excitement in that? Again, sometimes we came with financial issues. We came with unresolved wounds and triggers and all that. And so now I'm trying to be married and navigate those spaces. You may need to seek some professional counseling for some of those types of things. You may need to go on a very strict no spend budget situation so that you can take care of your financial obligations. You may do those things, and it may be a little bit of time before we can get back to this delight thing, but that should be the end goal. I had to ask a friend of mine yesterday, I said, what does your end game look like? And they're like, well, I'm still growing. I want to do some professional stuff. Yeah, but what? What does your marriage look like? What's the end goal of your marriage? You want to go 1 more year? You want to go 10 more years, 50 more years? What you want to do? And then when you get there, what should it look like? I want to be old, dirt old with my husband. Still holding hands, laughing, loving. Have my kids and their kids around me. Generation after generation. Because I want to model what it looks like to be selfless and serve. And I want him to model what it looks like to be selfless and serve. So that they learn what it looks like to be selfless and serve. And then their children will learn what it looks like to be selfless and serve. A lot of us think that this is for us. This is not for you. This is for the 3rd and the 4th generation. This is for after you. Everything we do now is for those who come after us. Think about it. Yes, I'm the one enjoying it or not. I'm the one benefiting or not. But if we get it right, what does that look like for my legacy? That's a question. If we get it right, What does my legacy look like now? Because I came from a family. Everybody in my mother's family was married except my mother. Every single one of my grandmother's children, except my mother, was married. And I don't know why my mother didn't get married. So marriage was a thing. But every marriage was destructive. Every marriage was toxic before toxic was a word. So I don't need to be married toxically. That's going to kill you. But I do want to be married happily. I do want to be married intimately. I do want to be married with my best friend. I do want to be, I do. So you got to think about that for you. And are you willing to do the things? Here's what he said. If you think about it, okay, this is Proverbs 31:26.